Yeah.
Morning.
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 Nice haircut.
Oh, thanks. Got out of quarantine finally. Cheers.
Oh, I'm feeling self-conscious. I need one.
Do it. Feels good. Nice and cool for the summer.
Yeah.
How is
Jay-
everybody?
Good.
Very good, thanks.
Yeah.
You killed it on the live on Sunday. That was
Oh,
so
thank you.
engaging.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what comes next. I have a sense that I'm going to meet a woman from Pittsburgh who's a lawyer. She reached out to me through LinkedIn because my email's down. It's these little chinks that can really screw up a startup. Oh shit, I didn't have, someone could have emailed me from a VC firm and I missed it because my email's not up. It's nobody's fault. I'm just pointing it out. But so I talked about the buildings that we own in Pittsburgh. It's not really we, but it is partly partners that I've worked with in the past and partly friends and family that are part of Bruno Capital, who I met with on Friday and gave them a 1,000 Dow squared each. But anyways, when I talk to her, I get a sense that people are right up against the gate and there's not a trigger to push them through. They sort of get it. They should probably convert their Roth. They should probably do X, Y, and Z. But I was just thinking as I'm at Panera eating oatmeal, excuse me, but I think it's either that I'm either coming across as negative or speculative. But the idea that the stock market's going to go up is still the sure thing in their mind. This is just the way. She actually said that. She said, we're the same age, we're both Generation X, and our lives since we're 18 years old or whatever, since there was a bad recession in the early 90s. But coming out of that, is really when the decision was made that making the stock market go up is now national policy. So other than a couple big drawdowns, 2000, 2008, and last year, everything has worked for 30 years in terms of making that all go up. So I'm not quite sure what it is that will make people want to walk through that gate. It could be not market related ideas, but more do you want to see what's new, what's coming up, what's the next thing, what's the next fashion, it's sort of like the end of disco or something, what's going to happen in the 80s. I'm not going to listen to the Bee Gees anymore and wear polyester suits. Everybody needs to get out of their polyester suits. So that's my tee up. Hey, Travis.
Yes.
There we go. I don't know why I always forget to do that. Tell me state of the situation with our application to Uniswap. And I think you're still waiting on some volume before you try to push us onto CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, right?
That's correct. Yeah. And I'm still waiting on Masari as well, but I think once the website's done, I might just follow up with all of them again and be like, here you go. Where's it at, guys? And as for the Uniswap application, I'm just going to implement your notes today and then I'll fire it back to you. I like what you said about it. It makes it a lot easier to, instead of kind of using fluffy language for the social capital thing, to just be more pragmatic and be like, this is what we're doing. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Here's where we're using the money for.
I think they have $4 billion, right? I mean, whenever they created Uniswap airdrop, they just put a chunk of it in the foundation. The company overall is worth 25 billion. So
Mhm.
it's sort of ours to fuck up at this point.
Totally.
I posted last night, somebody found a video of Camila Russo interviewing Raoul Paul, talking about that social token as an asset. That's where the rubber hits the road. And the people at Uniswap will understand that. So I think we just hit him with like, boom, 360 of these coming at you. By the way, is there a lot of background noise? Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
I'm outside, there's traffic. Okay. In other news, our 6-figure investor got COVID last week, and he reached out to me last night. He's through it and ready to proceed. Oh, good, Jack and Jenny are here. Jenny, I'll sort of like respond to the text that we sent back and forth. So we've been pointing people to IRA Financial. And they have a 3-pronged approach where you can go right to Gemini and trade crypto. And we're not really about trading. Or you can have a custodial account where you can do almost anything, sort of private placements, etc. And number 3, they have a checkbook-based system.
Well, send me that email.
The problem is if you want to do both Gemini and a private placement, it's $300 a year. So unless you have a relatively big account that you're going to put in there, if you're just going to open a $6,000 account, that's 10% of your capital just to play along. So I think the checkbook thing is you write a check to, let's say, an LLC that's going to buy a strip mall like I'm sitting at. And then they have to by hand go and confirm that that's where the money went. And you have to pay $1,000 up front for that. So that's a little expensive. I mean, that's a lot expensive. So let's think about that. I'd like to reach out again to Kingdom Trust. And I know on their trading platform, they've put stocks and bonds and mutual funds and crypto all on one platform. If you take a minute and look at it, it's really quite clever. I mean, Jack, you know how like when you go on like the Uniswap thing and it just says, or Coinbase, it just says buy, sell, and then you enter the symbol and hit the button? Kingdom Trust has done that like with everything. It's really quite clever. So I should maybe reach out to them before we start.
Yeah, it's very easy to use.
I'm sorry?
Oh, there we go.
Say that again, Jack.
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, interface is very easy to use, very straightforward.
You know, if we're going to herd people in these accounts, I mean that the best way. You know, we want to make sure we send them to the right place and don't have. I've had a lot of trouble over the years. I've used 2 or 3 custodians. Generally, the client service is very poor. And that has to do with the complexity of the transactions. So when you call into Charles Schwab, just because they're so enormous, you know, they can have, I don't know, hundreds of people sitting by the phone, so to speak. And stocks and bonds and mutual funds are so commoditized that it's easy to discuss them and so forth. Private placements are the opposite, right? They're actually, each transaction is an individual, you know, has its individual differences. So I think it just takes a lot more hand-holding to make those accounts work properly. I'm pointing all that out because instead of being afraid of that, what we can do is like step right into the fray. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that I have experience at this. And what I mean is, like, I know Jenny's talking to people who want to start. I may have to jump off shortly. Talking to people who are ready to make that shift, whether they're using cash or whether they're using the conversion out of an IRA or a 401k. But if we sort of step into this like a pioneer and solve all these problems, we're going to have a competitive advantage to other people, other registered investment advisors who are starting to dabble in crypto, who are just going to say buy the ETFs, put 1% of your net worth in Bitcoin and call it a day. That'll work for about a year. And then their clients are going to become more sophisticated than they are, and they're going to look for another place to go. Follow me? It's a lot like in 2004, we all sat around and was like, how does Google make money as a stockbroker? You're like, what do they do? It's a search engine. It's just like Ask Jeeves, and right, you just couldn't conceptualize how it all was going to work and how it's all going to explode. But I'm very much in the camp that believes that crypto is going to explode and is exploding. You know, that's why I keep referring to it as existential. I'm going to jump around a little bit because I'm afraid I may lose battery. Jack, do you want to like give us the state of the union of where we are in tokenization? I just sent you our friend Jim from Baltimore, I believe it is going to send you another. And what should we do next?
What should we do next? That's a great question. I really think we should hammer the Uniswap thing more. I don't exactly know what it takes to get a set price, because eventually Uniswap will determine what like the market price of the coin is. But when I still open it, it still just says price is equivalent to 0, and I think that's a function of how frequently it's traded.
Right. That's right. We need some ETH, dude. We need some ETH.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, but 1 ETH isn't really going to get the job done.
Yeah.
So we might just admit defeat until we get some sizable capital underneath it. I mean, I'm sure we're going to stumble on somebody who will just buy it all.
Well, yeah, and I mean, Rob still sounds very promising.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's $150,000, and I mean, it's just not that much money. And the timing's perfect because I do believe that the bottom is in. I think the summer slump is over. I think Ethereum login, August 4th, 1559. I mean, all these things are going to sort of bundle together this fall. There's something about the stock market. It's like people come back from their August vacation and they sort of start getting ready to send the kids back to school and the kids back to college, and people start to look at their paperwork again, and there's just like some natural cycle to it. I think that'll apply here as well as people start digesting all the new information about Ethereum. And the Doge and Cardano crowd will probably, I go through my comments like every night or whatever, like, it's just like, you know, you have this like elaborate conversation about crypto, and then it's just like, what about Doge? What about Cardano? It's just like, okay, nothing's happening there, but that's okay. So why don't you do this? Just reach out to Jim, get his ETH. Think about what the next things are to tokenize, and then I'll continue to work on getting us some real capital.
All right.
And actually, my meeting today is very much to that effect. I'm going to look at these buildings that we own, that my partners own. And I think I'm going to put together a sort of a restructuring. It might be the catalyst is that we is Bruno you. Is that we say, look, people, this is so big. You're probably not going to learn about this just dicking around on TikTok. Like, why don't you come do like a 3-day boot camp? Just get to Pittsburgh, get into the space, and we'll take it from there. And you fly back Sunday night or something like that. And just have like this intense seminar on all these issues. It's sort of like what we're doing right now is sort of like trying to improve your health by watching Dr. Oz, right? It's sort of entertaining and you learn a couple things, but like nothing's really changing. Like if you really want to change your health, you have to make significant changes in your lifestyle, your diet, your amount of, physical activity and so forth. And 1-minute videos and a couple hours on Sunday probably aren't getting that done. Hey, Jenny, you want to tell us about what happened with your conversations last week?
Which conversations?
I don't know, just your casual conversations with sort of your salon crowd.
Well, hold on. I don't know. I don't have notes specifically about that right now.
Okay.
I'm curious about your direction. I want to get clear on what you're saying right here. Are you pivoting away from Dow funds and into a paid course for crypto?
No, they're just, no.
It sounded like that's what you just said.
No, I know it does. No, I think what I really need to do is go get the money and get Dow trading, Dow Square
Yes.
trading. That's what Jack.
First, before we get like running with our track shoes on with an entire different entity.
Yeah.
Right?
Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So let's talk about the Dow funds and how we're going to get away from this IRA financial, because that is the misdirection to give people, and that's all over your videos about the first step they need to do. No big deal. It's just open up an IRA financial account, but it is a big deal because according to the email from the woman there, it's $900 to be functional within their system. It was $300 per unit. However, if you are either an individual or an LLC, or you're trading on Gemini, those are your 3 options. So she still was not clear, or I did not see where there was clarity in you must choose all 3 options in order to be functioning within their system, or you could choose one of the options, which it makes sense to me that it would be you choose one.
You choose one, which means if you're going to buy Ethereum directly at Gemini, you're not going to be able to do a private placement with us. So I would hate to have to go there and say, hey, everybody, you have to open up 2 accounts and each one is $300.
And what's the purpose of doing it through them?
I just thought Gemini was a great custodian.
No. What's the purpose of doing it through IRA Financial?
Because they have a partnership with Gemini.
Can we not go to Gemini directly?
Not through an IRA, no.
Got it. So in order to have the IRA structure and all of the benefits that come with it, we need to go through IRA Financial / someone else.
Or someone else, or another custodian that allows these new assets, these sort of unconventional assets.
Perfect. So then would it be a DAO would have that one, like, for instance, like the one membership, the DAO would have the LLC membership on IRA Financial, right? Because a DAO
Right.
is,
Through
six
the
months
through the
than the other.
through the custodial operation, which means we send a pile of paperwork, like the LLC agreement and some of their paperwork, they review it, and they say, okay, we're ready for the money. The money goes to them and then comes to Bruno, and then Jack would effectively send out the token beside it. So that's the thing. It's like both digital and paper right now. So that's
Right.
like, how do we tie that all together? I'm not feeling IRA Financial is the place. To
No, can you contact another competitor of theirs who's based in Wyoming? Find somebody in Wyoming.
I don't know of one in Wyoming.
Maybe somebody does know of somebody, because it seems like they've all kind of got their eye on the ball in the bigger picture here, and we're kind of dealing with some dinosaurs.
So I reached out to Kraken. They gave me 2 names, and I can reach back out to them. And I've had a long relationship with Kingdom Trust. I know they're a business development person there. I've spoken to her many times over the last 2 or 3 years. And they're getting very big. They're like $25, $30 billion. So
Cool.
I will try to reach out to her and make a plan of attack. I'm probably going to lose my battery. Sorry about that. Hey, Landon, would you take over the conversation from here as I drop off? Sound, buddy.
I'm pretty much open depending on what time you're available.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I can update everybody on where the
Okay,
digital
I'll
stuff
sit here
is
and
at.
listen until I die. Go ahead.
Sure. So we had a card to set up the different systems software, and we were able to purchase one of them before the card locked up, and
Okay.
so now we've got to get another one, and we're really just waiting on those systems. I mean, that should be sorted out this week, so we can send out everybody send out an invite and check out for the Discord. We've already got 23 emails, people interested in joining the Discord.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Oh, that's news.
Yeah, so the list is building. You've got the link in your bio, and we're having people come in now after you're live on Sunday, so we're starting to get just organic traffic from your account, which I would think it would really blow up next Sunday, because it'll be in there and you can use that as a call to action the whole time you're live. And by next Sunday, it'll automatically send out the checkout rather than having to follow up and do it this time. And we've got 10 emails on the white paper. I've got that automatic. So they put in their email, it goes to our list, and it automatically sends them the white paper. And if they reply to it, James, it goes to your email. So you can follow up with any conversations there.
Looks like we lost him.
Oh, no worries.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
So hold on, let me take my video. So he was talking about merch. People were asking about merch on the live on Sunday, and
Nice.
cute, right?
Definitely.
So easy. It's all drop shipped. So like it's whatever drop shipper. So it's not like a commitment on our end whatsoever. And it doesn't mean that we need to have Bruno U functioning as a college downtown Pittsburgh.
Wait, can I see it one more time?
Yeah.
Sorry, interesting.
I mean, I'm having a hard time it's a little grainy, but yeah.
What provider are you
This
using
one,
for
okay,
this
yeah.
one?
So this one's on Printful, but I wasn't sure
Yes.
what our website. That's good, Printful.
Yeah,
Right on.
I can
How's our website
integrate
built?
that into the store. The website's done. We're just waiting.
What store do you have on our website?
Oh, nothing yet. But Printful's super easy to integrate. It's very easy, and it'll generate an order with them as people check out. So
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
totally
absolutely.
outside of us. We do nothing. We don't even touch it. It's
Yep.
perfect. No expenditures or anything up front. So I figure if you guys have any ideas for like a little swag list, so far my little list of like kind of like cool little gear to offer, limited, crew neck sweatshirts, hoodies, beanies, visors, just a super short list of items, and then stickers.
Baseball caps.
You want baseball caps in addition to beanies and visors?
I think so. That
Oh,
would be
just t-shirts also.
T-shirts and baseball caps. Got it, guys.
Good t-shirt.
put a male and female version of the t-shirt.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
One,
That's-
one other idea is, because the idea of merch is helping spread the word. I'm wondering the possibility of incorporating, I don't know, a QR code, something,
Yes,
something small somewhere.
Can we put a QWERTY code on the back?
You can make it
Landon,
look
you want to
clean.
email that out and I will put this design together?
Yep.
Cool.
Do you have everything you need, Bruno, graphic wise?
I wasn't using a logo because my kind of like thought, like what I could see for Bruno U was basically that Animal House College sweatshirt, like nondescript. Jim wants only black and white. I feel the logo would be busy and not really like imperative when this isn't Dow squared, this isn't Dow cubed. It's really just the Bruno U, right? That everybody was kind of talking about on that live, which is why I was like, it can really just be Bruno U. And then if we do end up doing like our logo on whichever logo and all of that, then that would be a different ball game. But this seems like a really easy.
Definitely.
Yeah, cool.
So
Sorry, it just started pouring rain here. It's been 100 degrees for 2 months. I have no idea what's going on out my window.
one other possibility, something that, I don't know, someone could purchase that are kind of like little handouts also that include URL, QR code, whatever.
Oh, that is actually something in the works right now, is business cards for everybody.
Perfect.
And as well as like a handout business card for Bruno itself, and it'll be NFC enabled and have a QR on it.
Beautiful. Can you do that card two-sided maybe?
Oh yeah.
One side Bruno U, one side Dow squared. Cute.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's what I worked on, you guys. So it was real basic.
So I've set up what's called a subscription for Confluence. I'm going through trying to learn this. It's a software as a service. It's more for the back end, but it has a project management component to it. I'm going to learn it, get the beginnings going of the necessary security program stuff into there. And then for anyone else that wants to start organizing what they're working on in there from a project management type of thing, or even just organizing documentation that you've got, we can do that through Confluence. Right now, myself and Albert are set up in there. Just drop me an email, Lyle at Bruno Crypto. Actually, I'll put into the Slack the URL. I enabled it so that anyone with a brunocrypto.io email address can sign up and get an account in our Confluence. But I think I'm gonna spend the time going through learning it, because there's a little bit of a curve, and then I can help walk anyone through at least what I've learned on using that, because I think that's going to be the next step. Is we got to start getting things laid out such that everyone can kind of get an idea of what's going on, besides in the videos, and phone calls and such. So I'll post that over into the Slack, and then feel free to sign up and then hit me up in a day or two, and I'll be happy to help you.
Have you issued, have we all been issued email addresses?
I
have
don't
not.
believe so.
I have not either.
Albert's been the go-to for me on that. I definitely think as far as the business cards go, we should all have the brunocrypto.io brand emails.
I'd say if you don't have one, just shoot him a message on Slack. He's pretty easy to get a hold of on there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, hey, and Landon, you said the website's pretty much done. Do you plan on launching it at all this week, or?
Yeah, it's the systems like for form submissions and things like that. I'm waiting on getting the paid version because it'll only allow like 5 submissions through before it locks up. So that's the functionality we're waiting on, because otherwise it's just a web page with text and images. There's no functionality.
Right. Okay. So like maybe like middle week or?
Yeah,
by
really, I'm
Friday?
just waiting on the second card from James, because when they notified him for fraud, he's like, oh yeah, that wasn't me. So they shut down the whole thing and he's got to get a new card.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's the card you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay,
he
cool.
boomered it.
Sounds good, man.
Careful now.
My identity is stolen. Sorry. Cool.
One other thing, guys, on Sunday on that live, people were also, originally people were talking about going to Atlanta in August for a meetup. That's clearly not going to happen, because I think it's crazy to make people buy plane tickets 2 weeks in advance when they're so expensive. So I think we need to give people notice ahead of time to make plans in their lives. What do you all think about, I can like kind of start putting it all together. Wyoming instead, we'll do Laramie, Cheyenne, since it's kind of like the hub of what's going on. It'll be good for connections. Like the second weekend of October, like October 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 9, 6 to 9.
That works better for me than
Wonderful.
so early.
October 6 to 9. What do you guys think about October 6 to 9?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that
it
would work
won't
better.
be like, hopefully, we won't have any crazy weather yet, because it's early October up in the mountains. So I think we should be clear-ish.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll put together some stuff for Thursday for that, just so that people can see there's forward movement. And then that way we can also have, something to bring people in with and to, and invite anyone who's interested in this. It's not just for the core crew, right?
We get our first team photo.
Yes. Perfect.
Awesome.
What else have you guys got? Anything?
I've
I'm
got a
just
ton.
wondering,
Sorry. Go ahead.
so with regards to the Discord group and stuff, I know James had talked about incentives for the early subscribers, or was I mistaken?
I think what he's saying is the first 1,000 people get 1,000 Dow squared tokens.
Okay. I'm just wondering if a better possible thing would be the book that he loves the most, The Infinite Machine. So that's something someone can hold on to. They can learn about the inspiration of why this is important in securing their future and stuff. I'm sad he's not on here to hear this idea at the
We'll
moment.
listen to the recording.
Yeah,
That's a really good idea. It could almost be like a required
Definitely.
reading or something, but you give it to them.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that I think that's fantastic.
Okay. That's kind of all I had.
It's a
Mine
lot.
was just, I want to connect with everybody one-on-one, little by little. I feel like things are moving fast, even though there are a few hiccups with technology here and there, and maybe some squirrely moves in our direction and our focus. Thank you for your question today, Jenny. And so it helps me to get everybody's different language and perception of how things are going. So I'm reaching out little by little. Jenny and I talked last week, and then I asked a couple of you today, and mostly is to help me get clarity on where we're going. So that's mostly what I wanted to, I'm going to reach out to each of you this week to start having some of those conversations. We've got about 4 minutes left. I don't know if anybody else has anything for today.
I just had one more point of clarity about what we were talking about before Jim got off that kind of got like, so I want to make sure I understand clearly that the IRA Financial / whomever else it is, that's that intermediary specifically for IRA accounts, right? We do more than just, we're projecting to be doing more than just converting people's existing 401ks and Roth IRAs, right? So that really is only, that situation really only has anything to do with Roth conversions, right?
That's my
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
We don't need that for anything else, right? We need to come up with a manual of steps of how to get from your cash is in the bank into, or your cash is in your closet, into your cash is now invested into, it's been put over into this
Dow
new
Squared.
realm of crypto, and you're now invested in Dow Squared, which is now going into these other DAOs or wherever you want to place it. So we need to come up with a guide of what to do. That has nothing to, let's just leave that off the table for now. We'll convert Roths when we can, right?
You're spot
Yeah.
on, Jenny.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I have been teaching people. I've been starting with just loading on Coinbase first because it's so user friendly. I don't really care what the fees are. I know it's $3 or $2 or whatever, but it's so nominal. And at least to get people from step 1 to step 2, now they're on the exchange.
Hey, Jack,
Yeah.
out of curiosity, with regards to, me and Jenny's talking Coinbase versus Gemini, and with the work you've done with Gemini and stuff, is there any possible incentive for us steering people towards Gemini? Can we get
Okay, you
referrals?
kind of cut out, but I think, no, not to my knowledge. If anything, I mean, these are more premier services. They're sort of services or companies that will let you kind of bootstrap the entire thing. You really independent, very low fees, but we're really paying for the platform. And yeah, I remember that was something that James at least was really leaning towards with Gemini, was more that it's a known name, Winklevoss twins, established. And if anything, Coinbase would just be a step up from that, in the sense of, it's a name, people are going to know it. They're not going to think it's some, even Gargle Wallet, very good program, but it's not well known. It's something it's another service that you have to trust.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I think if we streamline it as much as possible, it becomes a lot less daunting for people to
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
dip their toe in the water. Like if you've got $300 a month, you could be participating in some interesting stuff here.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then the outline for, well, what do I get for it if I put $300 in? Some of the people that you're talking to, Jenny, may not have much more than that. And I'm sure we'll get into people who have a lot more than that. So we need to be able to have a language for everybody.
I think that's, yes, you're absolutely right. I think it's important to figure out what it is. We need to be able to clearly explain to people what staking is and where their money is going and what it can be utilized for. And from that,